Orchard Lake St. Mary's. I hate that I have a history against this team. And I say I have a history. Anybody that I went to high school with has a history with this team because we had the brilliant, wonderful idea at Grand Rapids West Catholic of, hey, let's play Orchard Lake St. Mary's to open the year for 2 straight years. That is, and for small colleges, when Akron goes to play Florida, you know why they're going there, right? They're going there because they get a paycheck, right? There's something there. They're going to come away with something, right? If it's not a win, it's going to be a bag. That's why those two teams are playing. And I don't know how it works out in high school. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think it's more you want to expose your players to better talent. Well, yeah, when they have Allen Robinson on their team, yes, okay, you know exactly what you're getting into. They're a nightmare to play against. But 12-2 last year, they were back in the Division II state championship. Last year, they ended up winning that. I think of a Jabin Gonzalez, one of the state's most precise quarterbacks. His arm is lethal, coming off a junior campaign in which he orchestrated an offense over 37 points last year. That's about as lethal as you get in the state of Michigan. Chad Willis at wide receiver has been electric. What do you see out of Orchard Lake? Because I know they're capable of winning another one, but do they have the pieces to do so again? What is your takeaway from OLSM?
I absolutely think so because I think on the other side you got a team coming from the west side of Michigan too. And not to say anything bad about our west siders here, but I mean there's a clear cut difference and athleticism between both sides of the state. I think OLSM competes the three-peat this year, right? They win every single playoff game by a lot, and that's kind of a tough crowd after a couple weeks ago. I'm calling my shot with Byron Center finally winning their conference over Muskegon, because last year that's what it was. Byron Center played them close, but unfortunately, it's hard to beat teams like Orchard Lake St. Mary's, and they just produce an insane amount of collegiate talent on so many different levels. I mean, we're both in the baseball world. I covered collegiate baseball in the summer for many, many years. So many of our key pieces to those teams every summer were from St. Mary's, right? So many of them go out to the big leagues and even that in the NFL or into these big college programs. So it's hard to compete with programs like this, especially when they've got to establish at so many different sports.
Yeah, and I mean they probably could. Allen Robinson on the base paths is terrifying as well. It's fun to say that you played against those guys, but it's not fun in the moment for many a reason. So for those of you who never had the pleasure of playing Orchard Lake St. Mary's, consider yourself lucky. Let's march on to the next team, Detroit Martin Luther King, Detroit MLK. There's a team last year that was young and learned a lot of lessons, but you get the feeling that there is a tidal wave coming when it comes to MLK. They got big game experience, and that is the most crucial thing. And this is why we'll see coaches oftentimes sprinkle in underclassmen, sophomores, juniors into positions that are critical because they need that game experience going into their senior campaign. That's the only way that you end up going out and winning big games. So when I think of MLK, Jameer Henry is back, big physical interior lineman, 6'5", 327. How do you not eat up blocks at that size? I think of Don Spillers the third, wide receiver. He's listed as an athlete, right? So this is someone that you can plug and play. So you talk about the beauty of availability. Well, he has all of that. A lot of really good pieces. You think about their secondary is also very strong too. They have a lot to them. Looking at MLK, this is a team that I think they could surprise a lot of people. What do you see from MLK this year?
No, this Detroit Martin Luther King Jr. team. I mean, this is a team that, yes, they're D3, but they play against so many schools that are consistently playing for a state championship, right? Like you got teams at the D2 level, the D1 level, right? You look at the schedule last year, and they had two losses that were one possession, but otherwise their other two losses were against Cass Tech and Catholic Central, right? And then, unfortunately, they just ran into a Warren de la Salle, which shout out Casey Wyla, the athletic director there, former pitching coach there for the Traverse City Pit Spinners. But they ran into a school that just snuck their way into the playoffs and were hot in the playoffs, and they made a run, right? So you're not going to get that every year. This is a year you get back to the basics, right? You win those one possession games, right? And then you take things back from Cass Tech. And I think that's exactly what they're going to be looking to do this year. And they're going to run to the table all the way back to the D3 state championship game.